Hi everyone, welcome to Year 11 English Lit. I'm Miss Mats if you don't know me already, and I am super excited to have you this semester for pretty much is one of my favourite subjects to teach. Well done on choosing English Lit, it is the superior one. You didn't hear that from me. Okay, so I guess I'm going to start off with a few things about me. If you know me, I guess this would be a bit of repetition, but I guess what's important for me to talk about is maybe why I became an English teacher. And I guess the main reason is because I'm passionate about it. I love, reading, viewing, analysing, thinking about life and things. And I truly do think English allows us to go the most in depth into what it means to be sort of a human, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Another thing about me, oh, this is my dog, by the way. I know it's not me, but he's kind of like my son. So I'm sorry if you see any photos of him throughout the semester. Another thing is that I'm a mad fan of Harry Potter, Shakespeare, Game of Thrones, you name it. Such a fangirl. Really sad that Kit Harington got married recently. I play handball. What else? I like to talk about philosophy a lot, so I'm sorry if that comes into the course way too much. And I know I do look quite young. I did go to the shop the other day and the woman said, "Oh, like, are you on school holidays?" And I said, "Yeah, pretty much." But she thought I was a student, so I do get that a lot. Anywho's, moving on. Now I want to talk about why English is important. I know you all probably all know this already, but I mean, from a pragmatic point of view, do you enjoy reading novels, poems, watching films? Do you enjoy finding and thinking about the meaning of things, which is what English is about? Have you ever been emotionally or intellectually impacted by a piece of literature or film? At bottom line, you have to pass Year 11 English, so do you want to get your SACE? Are you planning on doing English next year? Are you intending on doing other subjects which involve reading, writing, or critical thinking? Do you intend to go to uni, even if you don't, or do you even wish to get a job in the future? For any of these things, if the answer is yes or positive, then English is super, super important, and I hope you guys realise that. And as I mentioned before, at its heart, English is a subject about ideas, so I'm really excited to discuss various ideas that come up in our course together this semester. If anyone's seen Dead Poets Society, I love this film. It offers a more sort of romantic view of, why we study English. You can watch the video here. But yeah, he says, we don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life, but poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. Something which really resonates with me. Another thing about English is that it allows us to think critically and consider multiple views and interpretations of things. So hopefully last semester you did stuff on critical perspectives. We'll go into more detail on that hopefully this semester. And I think this image is a really great way to sort of outline, this idea of there's no such thing as one truth, especially with English. There are so many different interpretations. And I encourage you to form your own. Don't just think what I say is the right answer, because that's just my opinion generally. Okay. Another thing to remember is that this great quote from Albert Einstein, he said, "Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think." So don't just try and listen to what I say. I want you to try and form knowledge on your own. Really use your own thoughts and opinions. I think sometimes school kind of destroys those a little bit, so don't lose that. Another thing, in a similar vein, the student's mind is like a bucket and the teacher pours in knowledge. Not a fan of this, even though it does feel like sometimes it's a bit like this because SACE kind of necessitates it. But again, reinforcing the message of trying to create your own knowledge, your own ideas. Watch this video if you have time. It's only 4 minutes and I think it's really excellent in discussing, why literature is important. I've attached it to a post on Google Classroom. Now, here are just my commandments. This was a uni games thing that I took, so I'm sorry if it's kind of lame, but basically it's just my expectations of, you guys this term. You are Year 11, so I do expect that you have maturity anyway. First off, be respectful. Honour your teacher and your classmates. Don't speak when I'm speaking, it's just rude, or when others are speaking. This is a really important one. Please don't be afraid to share your thoughts and engage in class discussion. Often I stand in the classroom and I ask a question and I'm met with silence. It's not fun for anyone. I don't want to have to answer my own questions, so please share your thoughts. There's no such thing as something, there's no such thing as a bad answer or whatever. Don't, be distracted, whatever. Use your time in class to advantage. I give it to you because, I want you to use it. And we're going to read a book, so please actually read it, not just spark notes. Bring stuff to each lesson. Monitor day map and email frequently. I do use those most frequently to update you on anything. Don't commit the sin of plagiarism. Turnitin finds it very easily. I can tell very easily. So had a student last year who plagiarised twice and got zeros for both of those assignments. Remember the due date. It's important. It's there for a reason. Please don't, if you need an extension, you have to ask me previously, not on the day, not on the night of the submission. Please seek help and ask questions when you're in need. There's no worse, that's not very good English, but there's no more detrimental thing to your learning than just sitting there and suffering or struggling on your own. I'm here to help you. That is my job. So please ask me if you need anything. And do your personal best, I think, is a really good positive mindset to have. How to do well in English. 5 important things. You should know this already, but I'm going to say it again. Read and engage with ideas and texts at a sophisticated level. So, think about things rather than just the surface. Can you go beneath? What are the sort of meaty ideas? And then read some more. So in English, I encourage reading other sources. So reading secondary sources about your primary text. While your ideas are probably good and excellent in their own way, I do think it's excellent also to read other sources and form ideas from that as well. You have to understand how techniques influence ideas and, meaning. So the link between technique and idea is really important. How you write. So do you express your ideas clearly, professionally, with good, vocabulary? Demonstrate creativity. We are doing some creative tasks, one creative task, and high level order thinking. So do you go beyond the expected sort of standard? And this is important. Use the resources around you to your advantage. I've put so much on Moodle to help you guys. Please use it. I know Moodle sucks and we all hate it, but it's the best spot to kind of have things. And one more important secret is asking questions, like I said before. So please don't sit there. If something I've said in class makes no sense, please ask me. After class, email, I don't care. Okay, let's talk about the assessment for this course. So basically, it's like your first semester, so hopefully not too many surprises. Drafting, I encourage everyone to do a draft. You're 100% more likely to get a better grade, but it's not compulsory, so it's up to you. And if you want to see me outside of class time, there's lunch, or I'm free on line 2 and line 5, which are the green and red lines in the timetable. This is the brief outline of our semester. It's definitely not set in stone, so please don't copy this all into your diary straight away. Due dates will probably change, but that's the rough gist of what we're going to do. Each 1, 2, 3, 4 assessment tasks are there, and with the rough due dates. Term 4 is a really, really short term. To be honest, this whole course is going to be much shorter than your previous semester. So be prepared to work at a pace in which you'll be cranking out, drafts and so on, in a timely manner and using your time effectively. We've only got 4 assessments, so it shouldn't be too hard. And an exam, which is not summative. This is the assessment outline. So the 4 tasks we're doing are a critical perspectives task on The Great Gatsby, a comparative essay comparing The Great Gatsby and American Beauty. Number 3 is a poetry oral, kind of like tutorial thing, which will be 5 minutes long. And lastly, you'll do a creative text and a writer's statement. So you'll take a poem, transform it into a narrative or something with an accompanied writer's statement. And that's it from me. If you've got any questions, please write them down or email me if they're urgent, and I'll see you next week.